see my notes either, so I apologize for that. Just real quick, I do want to recognize Maggie's grandparents. She met her brothers today, and I'm really glad they could be here. Both grandparents on both sides are here, and maybe you guys want to stand, if you don't mind. None of us get to be here, so thank you guys. So just real quick, and I know I can't do this in a minute, but I'll try to make it in less than 40 anyway. Where to start? You know, what are the odds? What are the chances? Okay, so you met my boys today. We have 5 children. We were blessed with 5 children in 6.5 years, and I'm not sure what happened. But I know what didn't happen after Maggie was born. But you know that you've heard this before probably, but the odds of having a girl after you've had 4 boys is not very good. And I don't know what it is, but is it 1 in 100 or 1 in 1,000? I've heard 1 to 1,000,000. I don't know what it was, but so Maggie to start out with is she's kind of a, you know, she was a long shot just to start with. And to be honest, really honest with you, so we named her Maggie, but we didn't have a name because we'd had 4 boys and we'd given up on girls. We'd given away all our pink shirts and dresses and skirts and stuff that people had given us, hoping for a boy for the previous 4 births. And so we didn't have a name. We were going to call her Hank, actually. Hammer and Hank Harding, she'd have been a hitter. So she really was, but then when she was born, she was just there, and all the parts weren't there, so we had a girl like this. I wasn't sure what to do about that. But she did have a great opportunity to grow up with 4 older brothers, and thank you, Maggie, for recognizing them, because those guys were pretty scrappy, and they were fighting and bleeding most of the time. And when Maggie came, she was the only one that really didn't have to bleed quite as much as the rest of them did, because we couldn't break any. We ran out of arms and legs to break them all up, so they were pretty scrappy. But thank you, brothers, for helping Maggie be what she is today. So she grew up. You guys kind of know she grew up on a sort of a rural environment. You saw a couple pictures, and not only did she have the brothers and sisters, the brothers to keep her straight, but so we grew up on a little farm, and she had the good fortune to grow up around cows and pigs and horses, and Maggie was showing pigs probably when at the county fair by the time she was 6 or 7. So here's Maggie at 45 or 50 pound and with 300 pound hogs, you know, and she's driving them around, and always loved pigs. She didn't like the steers so well. She wasn't big on horses, but she sure did a good job with those hogs. In fact, the last year she showed, I think she named her, what'd you name your pigs, Mags? Coach and Dennis, is that right? Big signs on them at the county fair. Anybody was there? Big signs, Coach and Dennis. And people said, "Who's Coach?" Coach Rose. But so again, as a kid, real quick, she got dragged all over the place. So her perseverance, and she was at soccer games and baseball games and wrestling matches from the time she was born. And so this is her payback to her brothers that they finally showed up, and give them credit. They said, you know, she put up with all that stuff for a long time, so I guess it's only fair for us to be there to support her tonight. But one of the things about having those bigger brothers is her older brother, her oldest brother Jay, and you guys met Jay. He was Jay ran track and played football and wrestled and I forget what else he played, soccer, and but Jay had a hero, and you see maybe Maggie's used the quote. Jay had a kind of a hero as a runner, and it was a guy named Steve Prefontaine from Oregon. Was a famous runner back in the probably 70s. Is that close? And you see Maggie has stolen that, or borrowed that. Jay borrowed the quote from Prefontaine, and Maggie borrowed it, I think, from Jay. But the quote is, to give anything less than your best. Am I saying that right? Yeah. To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. And I think Maggie's done that. She's a believer in that. She's been a perfectionist since she was little. Again, she was always a quiet one. Again, I'm telling you, these 4 boys would tear stuff apart. You go to the mall and there'd be dresses flying, the toys going everywhere. And Maggie just go with her mother all day long, wouldn't make a peep. And but I think she learned from that. She learned she had to be good at what she did, and she didn't always have the best tools, but she was going to make the most of what she had. And I think that's made her what she is. And you know, she's embodied that as an athlete, as a student. As a person, as a sister, as a teammate. I think she's made the best of what she had, and I respect her the most for being able to do that. Mike, you said this was going to be hard. It's got hard, isn't it? So one thing I'll say just real quick about volleyball, and I'm getting into the danger zone here because I know Maggie's going to go. Christmas is coming, guys, and Christmas is going to be really bad for me this year because I'm already over my 2 minutes. And Maggie's in charge of Christmas at our house. Maggie and her mother, and they have a close tie. So when it comes to volleyball, just a couple things you ought to know. So at our house, we have the philosophy, so I know all of you have different relationships with your volleyball players. And some volleyball players share a lot with their parents and have a lot of great relationship and talk a lot about it. At our house, Maggie subscribes to the Las Vegas rule. Anybody know what the Las Vegas rule is? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So that kind of means that we really know very, very little about volleyball, what's going on in volleyball. And maybe that's good. So if you guys have anything that you would like to share with us after the program, we sure appreciate it because we really don't know what the heck's going on. We're lucky to know the schedule and the time of the game. So that being said, I'll just really quickly, you know, there's thousands of the young ladies across the United States today playing volleyball. There's 7 girls that are up the hall there. I think they're up the hall that are starters, that are recruits for next year, and every one of them thinks they're going to be a starter in 2 years. And God bless them. I hope they are. But there's thousands of girls playing volleyball all over the United States today, and you know, just about every one of them would dream about this kind of an opportunity to play for a legendary program. I mean, I think when I was a kid, we think about Vince Lombardi and Joe Paterno, and for the opportunity for these girls to get to play for Coach Rose, and for a volleyball program that's won 5 national championships and 4 in the last 6 years. Wow, what a cool opportunity. And I think we've all been blessed to be able to be a part of that. And certainly we as a family feel that it's been exciting for us. Now I'm done my part. Mike, I'm sorry, I apologize here. So just in terms of thanks real quickly, and we don't need to do a lot. I mean, you guys all know that everybody's going to speak tonight is eternally grateful to you as boosters, to you as parents, to you as teammates, to Coach Rose, to all their coaches. Think about their coaches when they were 5 and 6 years old, and we had a couple of Maggie's club coaches were here today. She's had several club coaches over the year, and without their guidance and their help, where would we be today? And so thank you to Coach Rose, to Kalina, to Mike Shaw was a club coach for Maggie and was a big influence, and we really, really want to appreciate what those folks have done to put us in the right direction. So I'll just finish up to say that, so thanks to all of you for your support. We have 8 more matches to win this year, and we're excited to be part of that. And we thank you all for the privilege of being part of your volleyball family and the Penn State tradition, just the Penn State tradition we all have. So thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. I want to say first, just thank you.